Hey guys, it's Marty Bielat for Cool Cleveland. I'm down here at the Neighborhood Housing Services Conference with Mark Pinsky. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. It's great to be in Cleveland.
Oh yeah, that's great. So, what organization are you incorporated with here?
My organization is called Opportunity Finance Network, and we're a national network of things called community development financial institutions that try to finance things that are good for communities.
And that's what this whole entire convention is about, right? It's about the land trust program. So, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. Land trusts are organizations that are helping to keep housing affordable in communities all over the country. And they're in urban places and they're in rural places. But all over this country, it's harder and harder for people of modest means and low income folks to be able to afford housing and decent, affordable housing. And so land trusts do that actually by owning, as a community, owning the land that's under the houses and allowing individuals to own the houses. And what that means over the long term is that the housing stays affordable. It doesn't lose its affordability, and people, so that if those folks are able to move on and move somewhere else, someone else can come in and also have affordable housing. And so much of what happens in this country is speculative housing, where the value goes up and we lose the value. We lose the low-income value of it.
So, what really makes this program unique? I saw that a little bit of a sustainable approach to these housings as well.
It's a whole bunch of really creative and innovative sort of approaches to what makes it affordable. So there are cooperative housing models where people co-own the housing as well as the land. There are models that are sustainable communities that are land trusts that are really exciting. There are some that have sustainable agriculture, sustainable farming along as part of what they do, and they build communities, and they build communities in a way that few communities really are able to do because they own it together. They're all in it together, and they're tied to each other economically and financially as well as just interpersonally. And so what you get is a kind of strength of the fabric of a community that you just don't see many places. I'm fortunate. I go all over the country. I get to see this from time to time, and when I do, it awes me every single time. It's amazing.
Well, that's awesome. So, can you tell us a little bit about what your keynote today is going to be focused on?
Sure. One of the things that's really exciting for me to be here in Cleveland with this group today is that this organization and my organization were sort of born out of the same parent organization 30 years ago. And we've worked together and we've overlapped. But they've asked me to come here today to talk a little bit about our experience so they can compare and contrast that with their experience as they've grown a movement, as they've grown an industry, and learn from that a little bit. And I'm sure I'll learn just as much from them.
So, what really drives you to keep staying in this business? I mean, being with low income homes can kind of be a downside and make you feel, I don't know, not motivated. But what keeps you going to get these people better housing?
Yeah, for me, it's not that at all, and I guess for some people it is a downer. But in fact, what we get to do every day, and what the people who are here at this land trust conference get to see every day, are people who are doing impossible things every single day. And so people don't think that it'll work. People don't believe that it's going to work, but guess what? It does work every single day. And there's nothing like defying expectations to lift you up and to lift up the community. And that's, I mean, I got to tell you, I have the greatest job in this country as far as I'm concerned, because I get to see that everywhere I go. I get to see that in urban places like Detroit. I was just in Detroit, in New York, in Los Angeles, but I also get to see it in rural places like Pine Ridge Indian Reservation in South Dakota, and central New Jersey, which is actually there's actually a rural place there, in Florida, and and it's amazing to see what people will do if they're simply given the opportunity.
Right, defying those naysayers and keeping people going. It sounds like a really great thing, and I'm really excited to see your keynote, and it's going to be a really great experience today. Thank you so much, Mark, for stopping down and talking with us.
Well, it's great to be here. It's really exciting to be in Cleveland and see all that's going on in Cleveland and see that's going on around the nation with these folks.
All right, well, thank you again, Mark. I'm Marty Bielat for Cool Cleveland. I'm down here at the Marriott, and I'm going to be checking out Mark Pinsky's keynote here up in a second. Stay tuned for more information on neighborhood housing services and everything else happening in your community. Have a good one, and keep it online.